This is a commitment by the Wagner family working with the Queensland Government to say to the people of Queensland, we want to keep you safe. And the best way to keep you safe and to keep Delta out of Queensland is to build as quickly as possible a regional quarantine facility. I have listened to Queenslanders. I know how much they support a regional quarantine facility to be in Queensland. They want their community kept safe. That's what they're saying to me, and we are delivering it. This is a race. We are up against a highly infectious Delta variant that's sweeping the world. We don't know what's next. We need to get these facilities up and running, and everybody has seen how successful Howard Springs is.
Checking in on a positive case at Greystanes, police in full PPE as they break the news to Gabriel Chalu. He's off to a health hotel.
I went and got tested for peace of mind. Didn't get a text message that I'm positive or negative, and about a week after, I've got police calling me. So I don't know, maybe it's a mix-up.
Confused but happy to comply, the concreter heads off for an indefinite stay. Indefinite stay. Indefinite stay.
All good?
Thank you.
Beautiful. You're right.
The vast majority of people are going to isolate and quarantine in their own home. Some people don't have that choice because they don't have a place to go back to. The hospital gives us a call, and the hospital says, we've got somebody that doesn't need emergent care, but who we believe should be isolated or quarantined. And then we make a decision about what type of facility is going to be most appropriate for a person, and where we identify that we have a space available, transport them there, and then sustain them once they get there. As we take a look at what we expect to see at the height of the spread of this disease, we're planning to be able to provide isolation or quarantine for up to 3,000 people in the county. We have a duty and a responsibility at King County to make sure we're providing a facility, a space for folks who don't have a home to go back to. We are all connected by this disease, and we're going to all be connected in the way that we respond to it. Isolation and quarantine facilities are part of our public health response to this emergency.
We have made adequate arrangements with security to prevent anybody who does not have a vaccination card from accessing any of these events. Also, you will not be allowed to access banking services in Edo State from the middle of September if you have not been vaccinated. You will not be allowed to access banking services in Edo State from the middle of September if you have not been vaccinated. If you want to undertake banking services, you will do so remotely from.
Here's the RFP. And in the RFP, it uses clear language to express that these camps can be used for a broad spectrum of people, not limited to travelers. Indeed, it doesn't even mention international travelers. It's just a broad latitude of people. And I'll send over the copy of the RFP after. So your government must be in negotiations and aware of these plans to potentially detain and isolate citizens and residents of our country and our province. So, Speaker, to the Premier, where will these camps be built? How many people will be detained? And for what reasons? For what reasons can people be kept in these isolation camps? And I'd like to have the Premier assure the people of Ontario.
Member, take a seat. The next question.
Mass public quarantine of unvaccinated rural Americans done July the 14th. It's a great day to be an American. The Department of Homeland Security has a training course available to law enforcement, healthcare workers, and other government employees that will detail how to prepare and execute a mass public quarantine of the unvaccinated in rural areas of the United States. If you're stuck in the left versus right paradigm lie, now is the time to figure it out. We are slaves and always have been. It's an 8-hour instructor-led course and is designed to provide the knowledge necessary to begin planning for the situation requiring the isolation and quarantine of a large portion of a local rural population. The last training course was on Tuesday, July 13th. Obviously, we need to continue to use our discernment and critical thinking, but certain things are being too obvious to ignore. Are you awake now?
I want to be straight with you. There will be no return to the old normal for the foreseeable future. I repeat, there will be no return to the old normal for the foreseeable future.
So people assume we are just going back to the good old world which we had, and everything will be normal again in how we are used to normal, in the old fashion. This is, let's say, fiction. It will not happen.
A vaccine on its own will not end the pandemic.